Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So for today's reading, I've been picking up on this energy for like a couple weeks, and I thought maybe it was just myself or something that I was going through, so I didn't look into it more, but I'm hearing that it is collective energy. And so, yeah, so the energy that I'm tapping into is like a lot of angst, a lot of people just being like done with it. They've put up with so much bullshit that they're at their like last rope, and it's almost like this empowering free moment. But so I keep seeing the scene, and I can't remember what movie it's from, but it's from the 90s, and it's like when the guy like quits working, right? I think it was a burger place, and he like takes his apron and like throws it, and he's like, F you, you're cool, and F you. And then so every time I keep seeing this scene, whoever the last one is, I keep hearing like, especially you. And I'm like, whoa. So yeah, it's been like coming and then going and then coming and then going. And then last night, as I kind of like woke up, and they kept doing like, you know, in golf, and they're always like 4. Well, I kept seeing someone do golfing and then calling someone a whore. I'm like, whore. And so the energy in this is actually very it's funny, but it's very like uplifting. It's very trickster energy, like lighthearted, like I just don't care anymore. And so yeah, it's like finally, whoever those people outside of you that always had that power, it's like you cared so much that it hurt you to care. And so now I'm hearing that it's like that last give a damn is gone. And so now it's like speaking everything that you always wanted to say. All those things that you wish you spoke up in the moment, but you denied your happiness for someone else's peace. It's like, I don't care what they think anymore, because I feel like collectively it's just been being shit on time and time again, and you're like, I'm done. And so I keep being drawn to a moment. There was this one person, and I cared for them deeply, but they never supported me in anything that like really helped me empower myself. If it was like one of those moments, they always be like, oh, like, I don't know, it's almost like gaslighting, or you know, like yeah, just trying to keep you stuck in that like cycle with them. And I remember I said something, and so many times in the past, this person kind of like poo-pooed on my parade or my dreams, and this was the last time. I remember them talking, and I looked at them. I felt it in my heart. My heart was like, I don't care about you anymore. I don't love you anymore. I don't care what happens to you anymore, because you don't care what happens to me. And something happened in my eyes. I felt a change in my eyes, and they noticed it, because you can't, right? Eyes are the windows to the soul. And I just remember them seeing, and they're like, oh shit, like I burnt this bridge. Whereas before, their tactics would be a little bit manipulative, and I'd be like, oh, how can I fix this? Like, what did I do wrong? Or I dropped the card. What did we drop? We dropped the 3 of Swords, but it was in reverse. So 3 of Swords is all about heartbreak. There's 3 swords going through the heart. And now I'm hearing shot through the heart. And no one's to blame, because there's no more hurt. It's like you took those swords out and you're like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. And it's when you stop, I don't want to say putting someone else on a pedestal, but their needs or things came before yours. And in this moment, I'm seeing you taking your power back. And so whatever they do, right, you're taking accountability for your energy, your actions, your mental health, and your heart. I think that's like the big thing. It was a mind thing the heart always kind of knew what it wanted and how it wanted to do things, and you go out there excited, and each time was like crushed and buzzkilled and whatever. So they can still do what they do, but you don't have that connection anymore because you're like, it's not empowering me. So now I gotta focus on myself. I gotta fill myself up with the love that I was giving this person all the time. And so, let's see if, I don't know about the golfing term. I hope it comes out in this because that's a bit rude, but maybe it was a third party situation. I'm seeing 3 swords. And you don't care. But I'm hearing that's the way the cookie crumbles, but we're eating cake. So I'm not really disappointed on how the cookie crumbles when there's no cookies here. So let's get a little bit more cards because yeah, I'm getting that this angst energy. And okay, so this is how I seen the scene every time. So I'm there in the background and I've got like so many guides. There's so many guides in the front line, and they're the ones that are kind of like pissed off a bit. And myself, I'm in the back, and I've got like this energetic popcorn, and right, there'll be like these golf terms like "oh," and then I'll just be like, "oh snap," like just eating the popcorn. Like I'm not giving any like I guess I'm giving attention because I'm energetically there, but it's not like I'm not there. I don't feel it. I'm not thinking about it. It's like watching a movie. And that's that scene when he quits. So yeah, and so that's what I see, like the collective has kind of taken themselves out of it, and there's just none of that manipulative and emotions being strung along. So I'm getting like, I hear lots of swearing, I hear all these things, I don't give a fuck, like that kind of energy, but it's very like lighthearted now and playful, like let them go do whatever the fuck they want, like, and then just focusing on your own thing. So, and as I said, it's been a couple weeks that this story energy has been knocking, but it can't come in because collectively nobody gives a shit anymore. They care, collective cares so much, but just not about those heartbreaking, manipulative things that used to wound your heart time and time again. So what do we got? Oh, and we're gonna use this deck too. So first one out was that 3 of Swords. Then we go on to the next one. We've got the Queen of Wands, and that's the Queen of Hearts, and she's like off with her head. Did we pull these ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll just pull 7, but we'll use it to clarify after. So here she is sitting in her, I don't know, she's salty, I'm hearing, but 2, 3, 4. Five. 2 more. They say pull the next one and then whatever's under the deck. That one. What's up with this clump? We're gonna take it, and then under the deck would be that one. This is a little side quest, side story I'm hearing. So let's just put those to the side and let's just get into the story. So you go over there. We got the heart. It's a Queen of Hearts that came out, and we got a heart cake. And she does not care about matters of cookies and how they crumble. Over here we got 4 of Wands with Alice, and she's sitting in her happy, content home life. Which I'm hearing really pisses off the Queen, because here we got the 5 of Wands. This is fighting and conflict, and it means like, what do you mean you're sitting there very happy with your cat Diana and Snowball and having tea? There's this house of cards in the back there, and she wants to huff and puff and blow it down, but that's the wrong story. We're not playing with the big bad wolf. I'm hearing Marie Antoinette. Is that the right one? Let them eat cake. And I'm hearing nobody likes cake anyway, so cookies. Cookies is where it's at, which I agree. I love cookies. So let me look into this conflict. What's this conflict about? Well, when I look at it, oh, it was just a game. So, right, we've got the flamingos and they're playing croquet with it. And so there's flamingos being fought with the sticks. And so I'm seeing opposites. Like one is like compassionate towards, not compassionate, I guess. Like one is like of nature and loving energy. I'm seeing animals and things like that. And then the other one I'm seeing as rods being more like swords and military type thing. And so it's like these two playing a game. It's like, well, if I do this, right, if I hit the ball over there, this will happen. It's like dominoes or something. And then that house of cards will finally come down. Which, interesting enough, I just looked over to the next one and we got cards up in the air, which is 8 of Wands, quick movement. I keep hearing the big bad wolf come in and say, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, but you can't, because energetically, collectively, nobody gives a crap anymore. The only way that this house of cards could fall down and be up in the air is if you play the game again. And the way you play the game is by, it's an emotional game. It's like caring more about someone else and their opinion and what they want from you, and not following your own dreams. And in Alice's case, she's the one that loves the animals. She's the one that sits there very content. I'm hearing pocket full of posies. So that's a song back in like the plague times, right? They'd to like hide the smell of like death or something like that, I believe. And I don't know, I'm hearing the Queen of Hearts wants to be the queen, wants to be the one in control. Except the reason that she's in control is in the manipulative way. It's the one that has to scrutinize everyone's behavior to act how she wants to. And so even like the King of Hearts is like, ooh, you know, and it's not real power. And that's why her face is just like that. I'm being drawn actually to this card. There's Diana, there's Snowball, but there's a little black kitty here. And I'm being drawn to this one. And this one looks like more the kitten version and then the adult version. So what do you want to share about that? So, what did I hear? I heard black cat fever, and then the fever turned into jungle fever, and then I got to the jungle, and then the panther came through. And that's one of my favorite guides to work with. He's the one that helps work with the shadow work. It's the ones on the front line. It's very silent. As I said, there's this whole line of guides, and there's this protective barrier that it's like anything that comes from the Queen of Hearts that causes this conflict, this quick movement, any attack that comes to you, there's this buffer. And you're like back here. There's from this to here is like all content and peace. It's a peace. It's a piece of cake, because you don't have to do anything. The only thing that you have to do is just hold the line. Don't give in to the chaos and the fuckery. I keep hearing tomfoolery. Why the word tom? Tomfoolery. Why do we even say that? Like, what does that even mean, right? Like, why do we, like, pocket full of posy? Like, there's all these weird terms that actually had a meaning back in the day. But over time, we kind of, like, lose it. And so, being drawn back to the house. I'm hearing just, like, lots of rhymes, and I don't know the end of this rhyme. And I believe it's Mary. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? Is what I'm hearing. And then I'm seeing that pocket full of posies. I'm seeing, and they show, because usually that's like herbs or flowers or something, and I'm just seeing something beautiful grow. So I'm seeing a rose, your heart being represented as a rose. And, ooh, that makes sense. The Queen of Hearts wants to paint the roses red. And I'm seeing like from the white purity and like the happy and the joy, and then the red representing like love. You can't force a love of something. You can't make someone love you by forcing them to do everything your way, my way or the highway. And what are they showing on this? And that's kind of what I'm seeing is like collectively, you put your dreams to the back or whatever you always wanted to. You had to fight so hard all the time for it. And nobody has time for that. It was like you did things in the past that you didn't want to do, right? So they're playing croquet and like the little hedgehogs or hamster or whatever that is. It's a hedgehog, I believe. You didn't want to hurt it. Like Alice loves her animals. She loves being herself. And in the whole thing with Alice in Wonderland, but what she worked through was she just had to hold the line and continue to be herself. No matter what was thrown at her, the way that she got through it was by being authentically herself. So the last card on this line was the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is saying, keep doing what you want. Keep working on your craft, your skill, your work, your job. Keep doing your shadow work. Keep just doing what brings your heart that joy. Whatever turned this heartbreak into peace, that's what they want you to focus on. So let's put these back in the order as we pulled them out. And then we're just going to pull these other ones as clarifiers. So the first one we have is Nine of Cups. And this one goes with the piece of cake. So look at all the baking. She's sitting in there. Nine of Cups is like fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. So that one goes so nice with this cake in reverse. If you really want, you can bake another cake. I'm hearing upside down pineapple cake, because in Wonderland, everything that it seems is not what it seems. What's up is down, up, right? But you could also make cookies if you want. And then so the one that clarifies the Queen of Wands is the Two of Swords. So in the Two of Swords, there's usually a decision that needs to be made. When we look at it, she's blindfolded. She can't see. And it's either this or that. It's a mental mind conflict thing, which is exactly what the Queen of Hearts wants others, right? The more I yell at you, the more I tell at you, the more I say that your dreams are stupid, the more you will question, oh man, are they stupid? Am I being like led astray? But by taking this off, the blindfold falls off. There is no decision for you to make because you see clearly. This person can't manipulate your actions and desires anymore because you're you and you know what you want. And so again, you're just sitting here in your happy home doing all the things you wanted, and guess what? Once you started listening to you, that's when everything became stable. It was always chaos and heartbreak and everything in the end, but now the House of Cards is standing tall because with the Hanged Man, you had a shift in perception. Oh, just great cards that are lining up with this. So this card itself is giving Odin, right? We've got the ravens. There should be two ravens, but that's what Odin did. Is he is one of the war gods, which kind of could give out the Queen of Wands energy, right? as the Queen of Hearts is always telling everyone what to do. It's now understanding how other people think. I feel like maybe you listen to this person so many times, time and time again, but now you know how they think. You know why they do what they do. And it's like, I see what you're trying to do, and I freed myself, right? I took that blindfold off, and now I'm just as smart. I understand the way you're manipulating me, and I'm not going to fall for it. I now see what I want is important. What I want is contentment in a happy home. And you've gained wisdom from this, because there was a time where you're always giving your power away. And now you're taking your power and grounding it, and it's becoming stable. And the things that you wish with your heart are starting to manifest outside you. And you see it now. So in the past, there was lots of conflict, right? But that is clarified with the Tower in reverse. There were so many times that while you were out there hitting these animals and fighting with others and doing things that you never wanted to do, your heart never wanted to do that, all you were doing was delaying this tower moment. And the tower moment is with the king and queen on top, and they must fall, right? It's like someone cannot contain the power for so long. Eventually, as the black kitty, the shadow panther, what's dark will come to light. And there's a point in your life where you can't continue to not be yourself. That's unauthentic. And when your heart isn't being true to itself, I'm just seeing the beach ball being pushed underwater, and you're holding it, but eventually your muscles are going to get sore and it's going to pop up at any time. And so let me just they're saying that this goes with this mini side thing. So there is more to this, but let's just take a little mini break, because interesting enough, here we have the Five of Wands, which is fighting and conflict. Here we have the Five of Swords in reverse. It was saying you didn't want to deal with this conflict, and the more and more you avoided it, the more and more you're like, yes, queen, you're right. Okay, I'll just do what you want. Ugh. But it caused so much within you to be out of alignment, and you needed to speak up to them, and it was scary to speak up to them. And the only reason why it was scary is because your heart was so connected to it. So here we've got the Five of Swords. It's like finally just I'm hearing straw that broke the camel's back kind of thing. You never wanted to fight. It's not your nature to fight. As I said, you love animals and you love peace and you love happy home and stability. So this tower came and it was like and you had to deal with the emotions. You did. And you're like, I can't do this. I choose not to have this stress. That's mostly just what it is. I'm seeing stress. I'm seeing mental health deteriorate. I'm seeing once the mental health goes, then the things outside of you. And it seemed like home life was so important. So maybe that house of cards was falling down. Maybe this soft little kitten was this ferocious panther, not really protecting, but attacking kind of energy. That's more what I see. And so what do? You pick up your wands and you're like, I'm done. I cannot continue to follow someone else's path for me, because I really want to do what I want to do. And what was that? It led you, right? I'm seeing him walk away from this conflict. This happened. You said what you said. You meant what you meant. And you no longer feel what you used to feel. What are you feeling now? Well, a release. And you're kind of working towards something better, a higher emotion that has a lot more gratitude. I'm hearing like-minded people filling their cups up. Whereas this one wanted to be above everyone else. This one's more equal. And this one kind of falls to the wayside because now it's not being able to control everyone. And so in those ones, they usually go on a tailspin. And I'm seeing him walk up to this castle. It is a hike, and that's like your consciousness, right? You don't want to continue to be like, I'm mad at that person, this person's fault, they always did this to me, right? What did you do? Take accountability for yourself. Because by not standing up to that person in the past, you did actions that you didn't like. So now you got to focus on those ones and heal and uplift those ones. Sometimes I'm hearing it's just not simply walking away and that's enough. You have to do the emotional, right? There's a waterfall here. You have to do the emotional work. And how do you go from the attack, right? Because there's going to be this time where you're like, enough, right? Excuse me. Enough. And then all these emotions come and you got to deal with it. And the shadow work is so hard. But with the shadow work, that's where it brings you a lightened, more heightened friendships and better opportunities. And look at this, actually, now I'm seeing it. Look at all these flowers. And now I'm being brought back to the pocket full of posy. Right? They're all sharing a cup. And here she is having a tea party. Now there's going to be others who will come to your tea party, and it's not going to be like the Mad Hatter's tea party. The only reason why the Mad Hatter had his tea party was because the Queen of Hearts didn't like his jokes. He was killing their time, and he was sent to this forever party. And when you're at this forever party at 6 p.m., it's fun at the beginning, which is kind of what it's like for those who just, right, you'll find something that kind of fills your cup up, but eventually it's going to get tiring and exhausting, and it's going to wear thin, and you're going to start to notice all the little conflicts and things like that. But in this situation, because it's actually done the work and it's not stuck in the mental and that kind of things, this is the type of tea party that you want to be at. So, when this tower comes, it's going to come, or it already did. I really do think it did, because that's that scene where I'm like, F you, you're cool, but here's the thing with that one cool person. And because I was also thinking about that, I'm like, if one person, right, they often say that you are a collective of the 5 closest people to you. And so who do you hang out with? Who do you align yourself with? So if you have shitty, crummy people, unfortunately, a bit of you is kind of the same. You can't be like, well, I just see everyone. Well, you kind of absorb their actions and you let them influence you and things like that. And so that one person who's cool, who really aligns himself with such shitty people, well, there's a bit of shittiness to them as well. And so, but I don't know. Just food for thought. I've been thinking about that one. Right? Why aren't they choosing better actions? Why are they letting this queen manipulate them? Why don't they build themselves up? Ooh, what fell down? Oh, are working hard. So, back to the story. All this said is, you worked very hard on your subconscious to build it back up. You've got these pocket full of posies, which kind of, seeing it almost as like protection. It's just that beautiful scent. It's adding that joy to life. Not everything is I'm hearing bitter and heartbreak, right? I'm seeing, back to this card, just like fresh bread baking or cakes and cookies baking. I really just want cookies. I love cookies, so we're gonna keep bringing up the cookies. But hey, there's a pineapple on here. I kept hearing upside down pineapple cake. So flipping something upside down. I see it. Either you already stood up for yourself and you said this stuff, or it's going to. And once you do, it's just saying, hold the ground. to be clarified by that one, we have the King of Cups in reverse, which that's kind of what it is by you finally being like, man, by me always giving up my dream and not following my heart or being authentic to myself, I kind of followed a crummy path. I kind of lowered my vibration and I adopted some really bad behaviors. I affected things in my mental health that showed in the physical, taking accountability from that. And so when you finally do the shadow work, work up through it, you are going to have to speak up to that person. Because there's a time where they're just going to be like, well, I'm just going to slide in and tell this person what to do. And that time that you're like, no, it's going to make them mad. It's going to piss them off. And so it's saying like King of Cups, I'm seeing that emotion, that heart, they no longer can control and manipulate your heart anymore. Because your heart has been hurt one too many times with that Five of Swords. It's like, I don't want to get stabbed again. The heart has broken so many times, and it's scary when your heart breaks. It's painful when your heart breaks, right? You go through sometimes this little depression or whatever afterwards, or you might be scared to love again, but a broken heart can heal. And to actually take a broken heart and heal a broken heart makes you a healer. And so that's it. I'm seeing using logic now over the heart and the emotions. They no longer can take your emotions and throw them at you and hurt you with them. So, whoops, come on. With this quick action, that's what I'm almost seeing is like you standing your ground, not having that cord to them anymore. When you have these energetic cords, they can get into your energy so easy. And what I'm hearing, especially with the Queen of Wands, right? She's so passionate, the Queen of Wands, not the Queen of Hearts, but I guess the Queen of Hearts is passionate, but the actual Queen of Wands is this fiery individual who's very charismatic and very easy to, it could almost be like a seducing kind of card. Just the way that they talk, you're just like, yeah, I'm on board with that. And then you find yourself doing things you didn't want to do. So I find when you stand up to that, I'm seeing them almost be like, oh, I got this person in my pocket, right? There's that pocket again, pocket full of posies. You've got the posies now, you've grown and you've bloomed and you've got the roses and all these flowers, but they thought that you were in their pocket. So when that happens, they're like, what? So like just anger I'm seeing come out. And now they're just like, it's almost like they didn't have time for you. You weren't really the focus. It just was like, go do what I want, minion or something. And now this time it's just like all their attention's going to be on that. Like, how do I get them back, right? You cut a cord from someone. All of a sudden, next thing you know, knock, knock, knock. Like, haven't talked to you in forever, but I need this thing from you now. And it's an energetic source or supply. So clarified with that is the Ten of Swords. Okay, interesting, right? Like they're going to come back now. And so here's the Ten of Swords card. I was drawn first because Ten of Swords is like one too many swords in your back that it's dead. There's no way that you can revive this. And it was in the reverse. Like they don't want this to be over because you go out there and fight the fight that, well, they're not doing anything. She's sitting on her throne being like, paint the white roses red, which was what I was drawn to. There seems to be white roses on the top of each of these swords. And when I saw it in the reverse, I heard death becomes her. And I think that's a movie. I don't know what movie that is. I don't even know if I've ever watched this movie. I don't even know how I know this term, but maybe I have. Is that the one where there's two girls? I want to say, what's that one with Meryl Streep? And I want to say Susan Sarandon or someone like that. And they like this guy, and then eventually they're like always fighting and always competing, and then they both end up dead. And so they go to this witch or something, and they give her like this vial or this potion that kind of keeps her alive. But they have to do all these things, and I think it's like a comedy. I don't know if that's actually that movie, but that's what I'm seeing. But I heard death becomes her, like, and that's the end of the situation. They no longer have control over you because your heart is not in it. Your heart is focused on joy and happy things, and you don't want to paint the roses red. The white roses are purity. And so it's done. It's just been one too many swords, one too many, you don't know what you're doing. Oh, whatever, you're stupid. Oh, do it my way. You don't, I just keep hearing, you don't know what you want. That's stupid. And so this quick action can't happen anymore. They'll try to stop it. They'll be like all of a sudden, oh, I turned a new leaf. My roses are white. I love you so much. And it's just not true, because how many freaking swords are there? Too many. So here you are. You're like, no, I'm standing my ground. I'm not going to fall for this new flip that's going to come back at me. I'm going to sit and I'm going to work on my craft or my dream or my hope or my wish. Right? I wanted to go to school and do this fun thing, or I wanted to go over here and whatever it is. I always wanted to be friends with that person, but I wasn't allowed to be friends because this person didn't like them, even though they fill up my cup. They are so supportive of my hopes and dreams. So there you are, doing your thing. And this almost looks like, I'm not positive, but I want to say like he's like the chess, the king. I think that's the King of Hearts. And the King of Hearts got so tired of the Queen of Hearts' crap that he's over here doing his own thing, which is good because in the story, he never got to do what he wanted, right? It was always what she wanted, and it was always based on jealousy or greed or do what I want. But I'd really like to just quickly flip through and see if that really was him. But as I'm looking, yeah, that is the Queen of Hearts. And he's over here doing his own thing. With that comes, now I'm doubting myself. No, that one's the King of Hearts. But this is the king. This is the king. And the king has had enough. And with it, to clarify, is the Four of Swords in reverse. Woo! And I'm getting that doubt. I feel like that's the main thing of it. It's like, am I the King of Hearts, or am I this chess piece? Or are we playing checkers, or am I doing this? And what do I think? Because I always said what I wanted to go do, but I've never actually got the effort to actually go and do it. I'm kind of scared. I feel like a brand new. So I'm being told to take this card. The Six of Swords is going off on a new adventure, and just trusting. Oh, underneath it is the star. Trusting that you'll be guided always in the right direction, because you have so many guides in front of you that when this attack or this manipulation, because it is a manipulative, almost love bombing kind of attack coming back. It's either they're going to come in fighting harder, or they're going to be like super sweet, and it's just so that you'll get back there, and then eventually it teeters back to what they want. But clarified with it is the Four of Swords in reverse. There's no need to prepare for the fight. There's no more need for those sleepless nights where you're standing up awake and being like, but if I say this, what if they act this way? And then what if this happens and what if this happens? There's none of that, because you've got that line held for you. And so in the back, I see it as like fun and carefree, and like how can we work through the doubt? I feel like that's the main thing, is just knowing that Spirit has you, that you're being guided on that Six of Swords towards the they say wrong deck, keep going, pulling them off. So you're being guided by the Star. And then the next one we have is, we have the Knight of Swords. But when I was like, ooh, it was the Unicorn. And so the Unicorn, I did a candle wax reading the other time, and unicorns kept coming in. And he was like, I'm going to take my horn and I'm going to sew up these auric fields for you. Because it was like, how can we heal a past relationship and mend it? And it was like, you don't need to worry about, it was almost like ghosting or never getting that closure, and what do they think? And it's like, it doesn't matter, because sometimes that's the manipulative bargaining chip. But you never getting that closure, you'll always be like, are they coming back? Is this? And it's like, no, you got to focus on the future. So I do see that unicorn guide kind of coming in, and like, as we said, mending those cords that get taken. So what's the one underneath? The Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is all about theft and sneakiness and being deceived. There's none of that, because a healthy aura, healthy mind, right? Because people aren't going to be able to come in to our field. There's this field or this line, and it's not just, I see like the unicorn guide came through today, and they're pretty badass. They're not just like candy and rainbows. They're very healing. But we also got a panther that came through today. And then, especially with you guys, you've got your ancestors. You've got so many people that you resonate with, right? What have you always been drawn to? There's tons of cats coming through. So usually when it comes with cats, it could be Egyptian, and cats are also a lot of starseed energy as well. So remember that doubt that I said? I was getting more of like a trickster fun energy, because you're like, na 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 boo boo, like, what's that one? A League of Her Own. That little kid, that's what I saw for that one. And by all this time to yourself and this reflection, there is a need for you to still go back to those shitty things that you did and said that you never wanted to, and claiming accountability for it. You can't be like, they made me. Nobody can make you do anything, but you're easily allowing them to, because you wanted to avoid that tower moment. But that tower moment's coming, and when it does, there's going to be that shadow work. Who do you want to work with? I'm hearing pick a guide to help you with the shadow work. As I said in here, the panther was really good for that. But I'm also seeing an owl. Owls are wisdom. We've got a raven. We've got cats. We've got a unicorn. And what do you feel drawn to? And I think the main thing about this guide for the shadow work is, like, you could do it, but sometimes mentally we do get stuck, right? We've had that same thought, that same feeling, that same pattern for so long that you could be on autopilot and you could be doing so good. Next thing you know, zoom, I'm right back to where I was. And it's like, how did I go from here all the way back to the beginning? Like, I didn't make progress. And these guides just kind of come in as a reminder that you're healing your neural pathways. You're making new connections. You're going to fire, you're going to hold better feelings. You're not going to let one negative thought spin you down. And if it does, you're going to be able to hold a higher frequency one that can help you get back up out of it. Somewhere in all this mess of cards, we did have those three friends. And sometimes stopping to smell the roses can help. So to end this, remember there was all that doubt? Now we have the High Priestess. And the High Priestess, her intuition is on point. She knows, like, here she is. There's Alice looking through the mirror. Going down the rabbit hole is the shadow work. It's all those things within us that we don't really want to admit to ourselves, but we have to. But once you kind of do the shadow work, then you have to look in the mirror. Who am I looking at? Am I happy with what I see? And what I see is the high priestess. The high priestess has dealt with the dark and the light and found this really happy place. So when you do find your happy contentment, that's why these pillars are so strong. That's why the big bad wolf can't come and just blow it down. This house of cards doesn't look that stable. In fact, usually wind could blow it down, but you dealt with the big bad wolf and you spoke up to the big bad wolf. And so you have those light pillars and those dark pillars, and that's why it's stable. You have spirit, and that's air. So there's no wind that's gonna come past this. I'm hearing like a blockade or something like that. So to end, this is the energy that I see. And you'll be very happy with the decisions and the words that you spoke. When you look at yourself at the end of the day and look in the mirror, you're gonna be very happy. Right now, I'm seeing angst, like you, F you, F you. But eventually it's like, I don't even care about those people anymore. I'm just gonna look in the mirror and be happy because I really built these bonds and I've done things. I've done great things and it was what I wanted and I did it. I didn't do it for someone else. I didn't do what other people wanted. I thought it. I saw exactly what I wanted. I built it and now I get to enjoy it. Okay, we'll leave it there. Have a good day, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.